Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It is Saturday morning. I hope that your week has gone great. Hope that you reached all your goals for this week, or perhaps you're still in the process of dotting the last I's and crossing the last T's for your week. Either way, it is really wonderful to have you right here on this Saturday morning. Good morning, Grain. Hey, Stefan. Hey, honey. Good morning. Happy Saturday to you. It's so awesome seeing you. Our teacher for this week is Jaiya John. And if there's a title to Jaya's message for us today, it is, do your best, but stop trying so damn hard. Do your best, but stop trying so damn hard. Does it sound like a contradiction? Linda, very good morning. Happy Saturday to you. Anna Marie, hello. Welcome to Saturday morning. It is at the bottom of your softness that you will discover your deepest strength. It is at the bottom of your softness that you'll find the strongest you've ever known. Jaiya John says, fear and pain may not feel good, but they are not inherently negative. Often I feel like this is one of the most important parts to our journey. One of the most important parts to the puzzle is to stop having this huge resistance to fear and pain. Fear and pain may not feel good, but they are not inherently negative. They are fuel that you can use. You can learn to transform like an alchemist, pain into power, fear into force, says Jaiya John. He says, the great project of your life is to become a safe space for yourself and for all living things. I think that in itself is one of the most beautiful statements. The great project of your life is to become a safe space for yourself and for all living things. Anthony, hello, good evening, it's good to see you. He says, it is to be imperfect and flawed, to regress and to forget, to wander and be lost, to grow weary or unwell, to be abandoned, betrayed, to flush with despair, or be paralyzed with terror, and yet, to wake again each day and resume this project. For each day that you are given is a newborn miracle that sings, you still have time to become a living sanctuary. And wouldn't that be your greatest creation of all? I just love this description of the great project of your life is to become a safe space. For yourself firstly, of course, but then also for those around you. And of course you will encounter all of the human follies along the way, but to remember, every morning, when you are given another chance, that you still have time to become a human sanctuary. Michelle, good morning, happy Saturday, and Nella, a very good morning to you. I really do believe that becoming your own place of safety, where you are safe even with your own thoughts, and that might sound like the most basic thing. It is the most basic thing. But if we don't have that most basic thing, we don't have anything. To become safe even with your own thoughts, that is the fundamental project of your life. Jaiya John says, if trying harder is hurting and not helping, do not be afraid to try a new way of being. Notice how life softens and dilates for new life to come through. This is also true for you. Try the sacred way of your tears. Try a little softer. Maggie, good morning. Sarah, good morning. Happy Saturday. If you're trying really hard and it feels like it's not working, then try a little softer. What creates your safe space is your own acceptance of the scared human who has really been trying so hard to survive. Your own ability to look at yourself with understanding instead of judgment is what turns your life into a living sanctuary. Every morning when you rise, resume this project again. Set a clear intention for your day again and do your best, but stop trying so damn hard. Our meditation today is called Come to Your Senses, and if you've meditated with us before, you know how this goes. It's a very simple practice of paying attention to our 5 physical senses. What is so useful about that is that we practice the ability to just be with whatever our experience is. Whatever my body, whatever experience my body is giving me, I am practicing being okay to just observe this experience. And that is the fundamental skill we need when we look at all of ourselves. Anything that we might want to perhaps work on and make improvements on needs us to first be okay with whatever it is right now. So if you're ready, here we go. You can close your eyes and let's slip away, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, let all of that go. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Our journey today is checking in with this body, and we'll start right now. With your next exhale, bring your attention to the space between your eyes, to your forehead. Do you often find yourself carrying a frown there? And in this moment, have you been able to completely soften that space? With your next exhale, bring your attention to the area in and around your mouth. Do you sometimes find your teeth grinding top onto the bottom? Or your tongue pressed hard into the roof of your mouth? Or your jaw muscles really tight? And for this moment, are you able to completely soften there? With your next exhale, bring your attention to your shoulders. Do you sometimes find them pulled up high, feeling tight? And for this moment, are you able to soften them and feel them hanging softly off the sides of your body? With your next exhale, bring your attention to your abdominal area. That space where tension hides the most effectively. Try and catch yourself when you walk around with tight ab muscles, holding them unconsciously in tightness the whole day long. And then soften there as you are doing now. Let that go. And just for a bit of humor, bring your attention to your butt cheeks. Make sure you're not clenching. Make sure they are softened too. And then lastly, bring your attention to your arms and legs, specifically your hands. Sometimes they could be clenched tightly into fists. Perhaps sometimes so tight that you create this long-lasting indentation in your palms by having your nails squeezed into your palms. For now, are your hands lying half open in your lap? We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies further stretch, adjust, and settle down. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles, going forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left and also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as much as we are able to, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a really good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly, and you are invited to follow. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, take a moment to say hello to this body. Perhaps even wrap your arms around this body and say, "Hello, body. It really is good to have you." Take your next big breath. Our journey of the senses starts at the top and works its way through our body. The first stop being your eyes. For this exercise, we keep our eyes closed. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, the question is, what would be the most obvious thing that you would see if you were to open your eyes? If you open your eyes and take a look around, what would be a really obvious thing to see? And as you take a big breath and dive deep into you, with your eyes closed, study this obvious thing in your mind. See it from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Then we'll change gears. We're still staying with your eyes, but this time, if you were to open your eyes, what would be the least obvious thing that you would see in the room that you are in? Something you'd have to look around for to find. And then, as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, study this less obvious object. See it from all its angles, see all of its texture, see if you can find all of its color. Take your next big breath. Notice the ease with which you're able to have this experience, allowing your body to show you the experience while you merely observe. We're going to take a step down, and with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to your ears and what you can hear. And first, find what is the most obvious sound that you hear. Listen deep into this obvious sound and see if you can find different layers, different vibrations to this obvious sound. Take your next big breath. And then we'll change gears as you take your next big breath and dive deep inside. See if you can find the faintest sound that you can hear, something that's barely a whisper. Listen deep into it and see how much of it you can make yourself hear. Take your next big breath. Notice your ability to just be the observer of this experience. No need for the experience to be any different than what it is. This is the start of creating your inner sanctuary. The ability to be with whatever the experience is. We'll take a step down, and now for the next 2 stops, change your breathing to whatever you need it to be in order to smell and to taste. For the next stop, as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, bring your attention to your nose and what you can smell. Is there any obvious smell that you are able to find right now? Take your next big breath. And then change gears and see with your next big breath as you dive deep into you. See if you're able to find any other layer of smell. Anything besides the first obvious smell. Take your next big breath. Notice your ability to just be the observer of this experience. The next stop is your mouth and what you're able to taste. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to what you can taste. Is there any obvious taste that you can find right now? Take your next big breath. And then with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, is it possible for you to find any other taste, anything besides the first obvious taste? Take your next big breath. Notice your ability to just be the observer of this experience, not needing it to be any different than what it is right now. Our last stop is the surface of your skin. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin and find an area with the most obvious sensation. And as you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, see if you can describe to yourself all of the different sensations and pressures that you feel in that obvious spot. Take your next big breath. And we'll change gears one more time. Scan the surface of your skin and bring your attention to a spot with the slightest sensation. Either there is fabric only just touching your skin, or perhaps you can feel the air on your forehead or your cheek. Take your next big breath. Once again, notice your ability to be the observer of this experience. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every fiber of your being. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. This ability of yours to be with the experience, be the observer of the experience, whatever the experience is. This is the start of creating your safety, of creating your own inner sanctuary. Realizing that just as we were able to just sit with the experience of our five senses, we can extend this practice to anything we experience. Jaiya says, even fear and pain. He says fear and pain may not feel good, but they are not inherently negative. They are fuel that you can use. You can learn to transform like an alchemist, pain into power and fear into force. But what it takes first is to be okay with the experience. Be okay with the experience of fear. Be okay with the experience of pain. And then it can transform. But while we try and run from fear or run from pain, it simply keeps chasing us. It doesn't get better. It doesn't change, and no transformation happens. It needs us to be present with it, just like we were present with our five physical senses a moment ago. I can be with this. Whatever this is, I can be with this. This is the start of building your sanctuary. Jaiya says, the great project of your life is to become a safe space for yourself and also for all living things. To have all the human experience, to be imperfect and flawed, to regress and to forget, to wander and be lost, to grow weary or unwell, to be abandoned and betrayed, to flush with despair, or be paralyzed with terror, and yet wake again each day and resume this project again. For each day you are given is a newborn miracle that sings, you still have time to become a living sanctuary. And wouldn't that be your greatest creation of all? And if trying hard is hurting, if trying hard feels like it's not helping, then don't be afraid to try a new way. Notice how life softens and dilates for new life to come through. This is also true for you. Try the sacred way of your tears. Try softer. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for this moment of recognition. Recognizing that sometimes giving up the fight, giving up the approaching things in a hard way, sometimes the opposite, completely softening, surrendering, is what gets you to the place where you feel really strong. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to become the observer of all of my experience. The physical experience, but also the inner, the thoughts and the feelings. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for understanding how when I get to the point where I'm okay with any experience, whether I wanted this experience or not, but when I get to the place where I can be okay with any experience, that is when I truly have free will to choose what to do about this experience. But while I'm trying to avoid the experience, I'll never act in an empowered way. Take a deep breath in. Saying thank you for all the simple lessons that this body teaches me. And today, very simply through my 5 outer senses. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for coming on this journey with us today. Can you be with it, whatever it is? Can you be with it? Sit with it until it feels acceptable to be in this space, until it feels like I have acceptance for this experience. And realize that anything else, any running, any avoiding, always disempowers me. Have a beautiful weekend. Thank you, Linda and Estelle and Linda and Anna-Marie and Maggie and Honey. It was so great to see you live today. And Anthony and Stefan. I'm trying to remember who else is in the background. Sarah. Have an awesome weekend. Thank you, Green. See you again soon. And if you feel like a more silent space, tomorrow we have that. More silence, less talking, and just sharing a silent space together. Thank you, Nella. Have a beautiful day. Ciao.